my channel, Sparkling Glue. So glad to have you here today. So what we're going to make is a 5x5 folio junk journal, and this is just a little prototype, I guess you could call, one I already made. We are going to make it in white cardstock today, or that's what I'm going to make it in white cardstock today. You certainly can use anything you want. This is just a craft paper I used. I just have a lot of extra of it, and I thought it also is pretty nice for junk journaling. But so there is 3 pages inside, and then we're going to fold them. So you're actually having 6 front and back pages and the cover. So there is going to be quite a lot of room for journaling or whatever you want to add to it, and pretty papers. So I think this will be a really fun little book. We're not going to decorate in this video because there's a lot. So we're just going to get through putting the base together right now. Here's the cutting guide. I'm going to leave it right here. You know what? Here, I'll put it right there for a minute, just in case if you want to take a screenshot. And I am going to leave it out or follow along with it as we cut, because like I said, there's a lot of pieces. And the white cardstock I'm using is 80 pound, and I just got it from Amazon. I think it's a pack of 300. Anyway, so let's start with the cover. It's 11 by 5, so the paper's already 11. So we're just going... want to leave that down the 11. Okay, so we're going to keep it at 11 and cut by 5. And then the pages, let's just cut the 3 of them right now. They're 10.5 by 5. So I'm going to get 3 sheets of paper together, and we're going to cut this at 10.5. and 12 by 5. Okay. All right, so the cover, the first piece we cut, which is 11, you're gonna, oh, sorry, I dropped my little scoring tool. Okay, I got it. All right, so we're going to score on the 11, and we're going to score at 5 1/4. And at 5 3/4. And what we're doing is we're just making a little spine or gusset. That's a 1/2 inch, and all the pages are going to have the same 1/2 inch, so we can put them together. All right, and then for the 3 pages that we have, they're all 10.5 by 5. Put them on the 10.5 side, and you're going to score at 5 and 5.5 for all 3. So just go ahead at 5 and 5.5. And your second one is going to be 5 and 5.5. And our third page, which is 5 and 5.5. Okay. Go ahead and fold on the score lines. You can use a bone folder or whatever you want, or just your hands. It doesn't really have to be very like a sharp, because you just want to make sure that the pages are folded enough so they mold into shape. And let's go ahead and do the last one. And then we're going to put the 3 together. So I am punching a hole in them, but you certainly could do, if you have a different way you want to do your binding, you can. And my little dog's at the door. Let me just open that up. Sorry. Here you go, Bella. Doesn't like the doors shut. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the hole punch, and this is the one I have. It's just a basic regular hole punch. So I'm going to do the 3 pages together, go ahead and then what you want to do is push down as far as you can, and this way the cover will line up with this. So by doing this and pushing all the way, you'll have the same distance from the sides. And let's do the cover. Okay. Put your 3 pages inside the cover, line up. The whole should line up pretty easily. And I am using this little ribbon that I got from the dollar store with a gift bag. I took it out of the gift bag. I used the gift bag for something else I did. And it's not really long enough, but for right now I'm just using it to keep this closed, and then I'll probably change the ribbon to something a little prettier after. And then also you have to decide if you want the bow on the outside or the inside, and so that's again something you could change as we go. All right, so here we are. Now we have our little base ready to go, and we can start adding pages. So we're going to do the inside, front, and back cover. They are, let me just put this, sorry. It's okay, little girl. Okay, so we're going to do the inside, the front, and back cover, and they're the same. And what we're going to do is 2 pages at 5.5 and 5. So what you want to do is cut 2 pieces together. Oh, having a lot of fun. I gotta open the door for her. 5.5. Okay. Go. All right. Go ahead. Go. All right. Sorry, guys. Dogs, they're the cutest. Okay, so 5.5 by 5, and you want to put it on the 5.5 side, and then you're going to score at 1/2 for both. All right, and then just fold on your pages. And then let's bring back our book. So on the front cover, what we're going to do is we are going to glue this inside. Hopefully this glue will cooperate. I use these little pins I got from Hobby Lobby. They're sewing pins, and they work pretty well. Okay, so, sorry. All right. So let's put some glue. And then for this book, I'm lining everything up to the edge of the pages. You'll see what I mean as we go. Because we're cutting everything at 5, so I just thought it would be nice to be lined up. All right, and then you just want to push down. And what we made is just a little opening. Now we have more room to do things, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the back cover. So go ahead and we're going to put a little glue there. And then I'm just lining this up right to the back again. And you want to try to get it straight, if you know, as straight as you can. I know it's not so easy all the time, but looks pretty good. All right, and then push down. Okay. So now we have the covers. And let's go ahead and go to, I don't know if you can hear her, but she's scratching again. I'm just, Bella, would you like to be on camera? You want to be on camera? Go ahead, go do your thing, girl. All right. So, the next, and you know, just so you know, she had me open the doors and then didn't go anywhere. Now she did, but all right. Inside, front, and back cover. That's where we're at. Okay, so we're here. Page 1, and we're going to do a pocket. Okay, so this is our page 1, and the pocket is 6 by 2.5. So I'm just using some leftovers from what we just cut, but and I'm going to put some 6 by 2.5. Okay. And now what you want to do for this is we're going to score on 3 sides to make a pocket. So you're going to score at 1/2. And what I do is I just keep turning and 1/2 at the bottom, and then I flip it again and do 1/2 on this side. And what you want to do is miter the corners here, and this just takes out some bulk and makes it easier to fold and put the pocket in. And push down so you get a nice fold in these, because you do want them to lay flat. Alright, and then just add glue to all your bottoms. I'm laughing because my daughter's talking to the dog. Okay, so, and then just go ahead, and again, I'm just lining this up at the bottom. You certainly don't have to put it at the bottom, but I just, like I said, for this particular one, I'm really trying to line up as much as I can. Okay. The other thing that's nice about this is because of the way the binding is, or there's a little extra room if some of the pages are a little longer. The pockets sometimes, just the way they get cut or scored. All right, so now we're done with our page 1 pocket. So page 2 has flips and a belly band. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut 2 pieces at 5 1/2. And let me just show you in here so you can see what we're doing. So this is the pocket we just made, and this is our next page, and so it's going to open up and down and then have a belly band in the middle. Okay, so we're going to take 2 pieces of paper, and some of these you might be able to get out of one sheet, but like I said, I'm just going to use the scraps as I go in for other things. But so flips by 5 and 4 1/2, and I do think I can get that out of one sheet. So let's go ahead and try. We're gonna put this at 5 and 4 1/2. This 5 and 4 1/2. Okay, let's go ahead. And what you want to do is you're going to score on the 4 1/2 side on both, and you're going to score at 1/2. So put it on the short side and score at 1/2, and put this 4 1/2 and 1/2, and then go ahead and fold down on both. Okay, and then we're going to bring back our book, and you're going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. So just put some glue and line up. Didn't go on that great. Just go ahead and line it straight if you can. And you know, after, if everything it's not straight, it's not perfect, we can trim some things. Also, the other thing you can do when you start adding paper to it, you don't notice a lot of the I want to say mistakes, but really it's just the creativity, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the second one down. And just push down, and then we're going to add our belly band. So, and this one, yep, that's what we did. All right, so, and this looks like might be perfect. So our belly band is going to be 6 by 1. I'm pretty sure this is already, looks pretty much like 1. And let's go ahead and do 6. All right, and then you're going to score on the 6, and you're going to score at 1/2. And then you can either score at 5 1/2, or you can just flip it and score at 1/2 here. Whatever's easier for you. Fold down on your score lines. Add a little glue to both sides. And just place this. Now, because this book is square, you could do this belly band either way. I think it works maybe okay this way, but you could turn it the other way, and I'm just pushing down to get it to lay the way I want it. Okay, so there you go. Now you have your belly band. Okay, and let's go ahead, and our next one is a gatefold page. So let me bring this back. So it's going to just be 2 pieces that open like this. So our gatefold, so we're going to do 2 pieces at 5 by 3. So let me get this. Cut this at 5. You know what? I bet. Let's do it this way. 5. And then we can do 3 and 3. Okay, and now we're going to score on the 3-inch side at 1/2. So put it on the short side and just score it 1/2. And the same thing with the other. Go ahead and push down, and then we're just going to put them in on the sides of the book. So bringing back our page, and what we want to do, this is going to be one on the right and one on the left, and just go ahead and place it in and push down, and then do your other side. Okay, and I'm just lining it up to the end of the page. And now you have, yeah, you just want to get the crease lines so everything lays down. We can add magnets or closures later. So that's your gatefold. Okay. The next page is a folded pocket. So, oh, right. All right. So let me show you. This is a really fun folding pocket. I saw this on Pink Monarch Prints on their site, and I just really liked it. I use it a lot now. So you're going to take a piece of paper that's 7 by 7. You can do this in your cardstock that you're using, but I just want to show it to you with the colored paper because it just comes out so pretty. So you want a two-sided piece of paper that's 7 by 7, and you're going to just fold it half just together the best you can. Well, you want to try to line it up. I mean, it's possible that I didn't cut it perfect, but so it's 7 by 7 is what you're trying to do here. Okay. And then, depending on which one you want inside, but we can change it around to see, I'll show you what I mean. So, you fold up one corner just to the score line, right here. And you're going to go ahead and cut this and then save it because we're going to use it. So, go ahead and line this up the best you can. And we're going to go ahead and just take off that little triangle. Okay, put this back up, and now what you want to do is fold both sides so they look, you want to try to get it somewhat symmetrical. So you can cut off any excess if there's left over, or if you make it a little bigger there won't be any left over. It doesn't matter. This is completely what you like. I'm just gonna, I think that looks pretty straight. So I'm going to go ahead and push down. So the way I did it, the flowers are on the outside and this purple's on the inside. If you were to have turned it over, it would have been the opposite. So it's certainly just whatever you would prefer to do. Okay, so, and now all we're going to do is you're going to, if you need to cut the piece, you know, the ends, go ahead. If not, and then just put glue on the bottom of each side, and then decide which one you, what I usually do is leave the triangle. I put this as the top flap, my left side. You don't have to do that. It might have to do with how your paper looks too, whatever you think. Now, what you're going to do with this triangle is you're going to take the opposite paper and we're going to cut it and then just put it down here. And you can make this triangle any size you want. What I do is I kind of just line it up to where I think I want it. And you can just make a little crease here, just so you know. Bring back your cutter. And what you want to do is cut above that line, so it's making it a drop shorter. And just cut. And if you want, which is always nice with envelopes, you can ink around the sides. And I like to ink here too, which probably would have been easier before it was folded, but that's okay. And then a little bit of ink here. Okay. And I'm using Distress Oxide Gathered Twigs. All right, and then you're going to just take your additional triangle, which I just think this makes this pocket so cute. Now, I glued the entire triangle down. If you wanted to, you could just glue the sides and then have it as another pocket, but there's certainly plenty of pockets in this. So you have a pocket here, you have one here. Each one of these are 2 pockets. See the way you have a pocket behind here, a pocket. I mean, there's plenty to put tags and different things. And then what we're going to do is just glue this down to your page. And like I said, you can do it in plain paper. I just wanted to show you the effect with it with the pattern paper because I really love it. But if you don't know how you're decorating your book yet, you know, maybe you want to hold off on that, but don't glue it in yet. Wait and see. Also, you might want to glue a background paper to this prior to gluing it down, so it's something we can just wait on. But all it is a 7x7 piece of paper just folded. So really fun, I think, and I hope you guys like that. Yeah, so this was one that was in this book that I had, that I used. So you can see that there's so many little pockets, and I just layered this card, but you can certainly do a lot with them. They're fun. Okay, so we did our 7x7 page 4 folded pocket. The 5th page, it's a pocket flip. So let's go ahead and bring that back and take a look. So here was the little pocket that we just made, and here is in the plain paper. So you can see it's still cute. I mean, you could ink it and add tags and things, and it's still adorable. I would have definitely inked around here so you can see the contrast. But so the next page is, it's a pocket, but it has a flap, I guess, over it. So that's why I'm calling it that. All right, so that's going to be on here. All right, so our pocket flip. So it's 11 by 4 3/4. So we already have this at 11. So let's cut at 4 3/4. Okay. And then what you want to do is on the 11-inch side, you're going to score at 3 1/2 and 8 1/4. So 3 1/2 and 8 1/4. Okay? And hold on the score lines. And your 3 1/2 is what's going to make your pocket, and then the larger flip is what's going to close. And all you have to do, and this again would probably be really cute with paper that's double-sided and a pattern, but again, until you know how you're decorating. So what you want to do is just glue the 2 sides right here. And then you have, well, let it dry first before you pull it apart. But then you have your pocket and the flip, and we're just going to glue that down right on your page. And you might want something behind it. You could also, if you wanted to, not glue the whole back down, maybe just glue around 3 of the sides and leave it as another pocket at the top. So it's you know, you can do a lot of different things. It's really cute. But anyway, so we'll pull these out now. Okay, now we're to our middle pages. And what we're going to do with these, they're pages 6 and 7. We're doing, let me show you. So it's going to open and open and open. So you have 3 on each side, and that's for the middle of the book. So let's go ahead, and what we want to do, so you're going to do 2 pages of each. So it's they're all 5 inches, but that's 4.5, 3.5, 2.5. Again, there might be a better way to do this, not to conserve paper, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to let's take 3 pieces and see how we do. All right, so we're going to cut this, let's cut it this way, the long way, so maybe gives us more room. And it is by 5. So we're going to cut this by 5. Okay. And now you need 2 pieces. Let's try it this way. Let's do the 4.5. Well, that's going to give us, let's see, I'm not sure. 4.5. That gives us 2 at 4.5, and then we need 2 at 3.5, and 2 at 2.5, and wow, this worked. So I guess you only needed to do it with 2 pages. Okay, good. All right, and now you're going to bring back all your pages. And what we want to do is we are going to score on the 4.5, the 3.5, and the 2.5. So your 4.5, and you're going to score it a half. 4.5, and score it a half. And then bring your 3.5, and they're all at a half, and they're all on the smaller side. So kind of easy to just go through them quickly. And a half, and a half. Okay. And now what you want to do is you want to fold on all the score lines. I'm going to do one side first. So we have the 2.5, the 3.5, and the 4.5. And you're going to layer them on top of each other. So here's your 4.5. We're going to put the 3.5 right on top. And you're just going to line it up to the end. And this glitter art glue is good. It dries fast, which is good, but it also doesn't give you a whole lot of time to move something around. Okay, and then take your 2.5, and you're going to put that on top. All right, and then push down. Okay, and let's do the other side. So fold on your score lines. That is my nail polish. I don't know. All right, and let's go ahead and, okay. So luckily that's getting covered. All right, so you're going to take your 3.5 on top, and then your 2.5. Okay, and just line it up the best you can, and press down. Okay, let's bring our book back, and then what you want to do is you're going to glue one on one side and one on the other to make your trifold flip. How's that? It's trifold flip. And let's go ahead and just glue this down. And you want to push down and make sure it adheres, okay? And glue your other side. And let's just slide it to the edge of the page. All right, there we go. Push down, push down. Okay. So this will be fun to decorate, I think, right? Okay, pretty. So we're moving on. All right, our next page is a double pocket. So it's just one pocket on top of another. So let's go ahead and do that. And we have to, let's see, so there's two of them. So one is, they're both 6, one is by 3.5, one is by 2.5. So let's see what we can do here. Let's do this. Maybe if I do, I don't know, I'm trying to conserve, but I'm not doing a very good job. So 6 by 3.5, and I think, let's grab another, and 6 by 2.5. Okay, and now what you're going to do is you're going to just score on 3 sides again. So it's a half, a half, and a half, half, flip, a half, and a half. And then you're going to do the same with this pocket. So a half, and a half. Okay, and you want to miter the corners, and I do this almost with all my pockets unless I forget. And in this particular case, I'm going to also miter the tops. It's just going to make it a little less bulky and easier to fold down. I don't always do this with pockets, but because it's a double. Okay, and then what you want to do is just fold on your score lines. And then we're going to glue one pocket on top of the other and then put it in our book. Okay, so no glue. And then just glue this down at the bottom like this. And you can push down to make sure it is glued. All right, and then just put glue on just give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So we're going to bring our book back, and I put glue on all 3 tabs, and then just set it in, and you're going to go ahead and push down. All right, and now you have a double pocket on the page. Okay, and let's see, let's get rid of some of this. miter cuts. All right. The next one, we're going to do a belly band. And we're just doing a belly band, but I want to show you, and I brought this over before. This is how I'm going to end up decorating it. I thought this was really cute. I saw this on also Pink Monarch Prints. So they're just folding up little envelopes, which I might have another video where I did some in, or I can show you. But anyway, they're just using scrap paper that's left over from when you decorate, and also making little tags. And I just thought that was really cute, and then just gluing it to the belly band. So that was my intention on this. But up to you. And this looks like a perfect piece. So our belly band is 6 by 2 and did I say? Oh no, I apologize. Belly band. All I have is 6 there. I know it's 6 by 1. I'll fix that. Let's see. So 6, and this is about by 1. Good enough. Okay. So 8, 9 belly band. It is 6 by 1, and oh, excuse me. You are going to score on the 6. Okay. Let's go ahead. All right. There you go. So, and I have it at, you're going to score at 1/2 and 5.5. Again, or you can flip it around, because you just want 1/2 on either side. So you can score it 1/2 and 5.5, or you could just turn it around and score it your 1/2. And then just fold down, and I'm going to add the belly band in, and then when we decorate is when we can add all the little envelopes and tags or whatever we want. Okay, and then just push down. Okay, let's see. So the next one is page 10 is flips. So let's pull this over and see what we're doing. So we just did our belly band. Okay, so what this is 2 flips and then a triangle pocket we're going to do. All right, so you have one flip is at 4 by 4 and the other one is 4 by 3. So you're going to cut this at 4, and then you're going to do another one at 4, and then one at 3. And then you're going to score on the 4. This one is 4 by 4, so it doesn't matter which side you do it, and you're going to score it 1/2. And the other one, we're scoring on the 3 at 1/2. So you want to make sure you put it on the 3 side and 1/2. And then you're going to just fold on your lines. And you're going to layer it on top, just like we did on the others. So you're just going to put some glue here and line them up together and layer it. And just push down and bring your book back. And go ahead and glue this in. And I'm just gluing this in the middle, but you certainly could put it anywhere that you want. It doesn't have to be exactly measured. Alright, and then just push down. Alright, now we're going to work on the triangle pocket. So it is a 5 by 5 piece of paper. So I'm sure I have some, but let's just cut another one. I'm gonna have a lot of paper to use up on different things. Let's see. Don't we always? Right. So let's see. Let's cut this at 5 by 5. Okay. Now what you want to do is, if you cut angle to angle, you will get a triangle pocket. But let me show you what I'm looking to do. Do you see how this has a little piece that's coming up a little bit? That's what I'm trying to get. You don't have to do that, but so when you have it lined up angle to angle, but if you move it over just a little bit, depending on where you cut here is going to give you how long your side is. So I don't want it too tall, and then you just have to keep sliding back your point. So I don't know, something like that might be nice. All right, so, and that's what we got. If you don't like it, you could put it back in and cut some more off. But I think this is probably fine. And I am putting this underneath right here. And the reason why I wanted this is so then when the page is, it looks nicer than if you just saw the corner. I don't know. Just a preference, I guess. And I'm just putting glue on the outside, and I am actually going to put glue on that little piece. You don't have to, but this way it's just glued down a little more secure. And then because it's the same size as the page, just line it up and press down. And now we have a little pocket with a double flip. Okay, the next one is a double fold. So let's go ahead and bring this back. And let's bend a little. Okay, so what this does is it opens this way, and then it opens this way. And then you have the back, you can decorate back here, here, and here, and here. So it's just, and it's a little like a Z, I guess. So you can close it either way, it doesn't matter, but that's what we're going to work on next. All right, so it's a double fold. You need 4 pages at 5 by 3.5. So again, let's see, we could do it with 2, I'm hoping. So let's do 5. Maybe I could have done it, I'm not sure. With 1, 5 and 3.5. You know, it's hard when you're on video because you don't want to sit here wasting all your time, me thinking about what's the best way to cut a piece of paper. Anyway, and then you're going to put it on the 3.5 side, and we're scoring at a half. Okay, so that's 1, and then this, I believe, was already at 5, and we're going to go back to 3.5 for our other 2, and go ahead and do the same thing. Half and half. All right, and now we're just going to push down on our score lines. Okay, so what you're going to be doing, so this is going to glue here, and the second one is going to glue on top like this. go ahead and put glue here. And you're going to line it up. Okay, and push down. And then you're going to put glue on this tab here. And I'm going to just line it up to the end right here. And push down. And you have this Z fold. So we're going to do the same thing. So this one is going to be here, and your other page is going to go on top like that. So let's go ahead and add some glue. And you're just going to line them up again. And add some glue on the bottom. And go ahead and line it up on your page. Press down. Give it a minute to adhere. I think we're good. And then you have your little fold where you can decorate with all kinds of things. Okay. And we are on the last page. I can't believe it. It's another triangle pocket. So same type of thing. You're going to take a piece that's 5 by 5, and this might be pretty close. All right, so 5 by 5. And then we're just going to do the same thing with the triangle. And I'm doing the tip there, and I'm leaving a little bit here, just pending, and cutting. And so you have your triangle. All right, and I'm just going to put glue on the borders of the 3 sides. And go ahead and press down. Okay, and I didn't show you, but actually I guess I glued this one the other way. I guess it doesn't matter either way, especially if it's solid paper. It really doesn't matter. It might if you had pattern paper. And that's it. So let's take a look at what we did. And I have a big mess to clean up, as always. All right. Just going to move this out of the way. And I took these out, but we put them back in. Okay, so here's our book. And I'm probably going to have to fold a little bit on some of the... so our front cover, and it opens. And then we have a little pocket here. The next page is a flip up and flip down with the belly band. Then we have our gatefold opening. This one is our folded pocket, and this one is also a folded pocket that's going to be in here. And the next is the middle, which is your trifold flip. You can add pockets in here. You can do what, you know, there's so many different things you can do with that page for sure. This one, which I guess I have to re-glue this, but anyway, it's a double pocket. And then the belly band, which we're talking about maybe adding envelopes. Double flip with a triangle pocket. and then your, I guess, Z fold, or accordion fold, either way. And then your triangle pocket, which, again, like I said, I glued it the opposite side of the book, but it doesn't really matter. And then the back cover, which opens this way, and this. So, and then we need to decorate, and I'm sure that this will be really cute, and you can use it for all different things. Make it more of a photo album, more of a junk journal album. Obviously tie the ribbon in a little better so it holds, or whatever binding you want to do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and that you make it and have fun with it. And thanks so much for stopping by and crafting with me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have a great day. Take care.